Hi students, in this video we are going to continue to see problems related to by parts. The question is evaluate integration of sine of log x dx. Normally in by parts we must have two different functions. But here if you look at it, it is just a single function. It is a composition function in which the x is given as an input for the log function. The output of log function goes as an input for sine function. Hence it is a composition function. Altogether it is a one function. So here directly we cannot apply by parts. We have to use substitution technique. After that this problem can be converted into by parts, then we can solve it. What we can do is, as we already learnt in substitution technique, normally we take first function as t. So here we are considering log x as t. But before proceeding further, like differentiating on both sides, we have to raise this equation to the power of e. You may ask why we need to do it. You just observe it. At the end you will understand why we do it. When we raise the equation to the power e on both sides, we get log x to the base e, which is equal to e power t. We know that log and e exponential function are opposite to each other, so we get x is equal to et. So we are getting that x is equal to et, log x is equal to t. Now again we will go back to log x is equal to t, and then we will do the differentiation. So you just look at this, consider log x is equal to t. On differentiating both sides with respect to x, we get log x derivative is 1 by x. In the right hand side we get dt by dx. This dx can be transferred opposite side, so 1 by x dx is equal to dt, and x can be transferred that side as this, so we get dx is equal to x into dt. Actually here in the question we want to convert all the x terms in terms of t. So log x has been converted into t, and we want dx term in terms of d. But if you look at this here, we get dx in terms of t as well as x. So this is the problem we face. In order to avoid this problem only, we raised both sides to t. So finally we got x is equal to et. We got x value in terms of e power t. So in this place, in place of x, we can substitute e power t dt. So now in place of dx we can put e power t into dt. It is in terms of t, and then in place of log x we can substitute t. So all the x terms has been converted into t. So the question will become, the integration of sine of log x dx will become, in place of sine as it is, in place of log x we put t, in place of dx we are putting e power t into dt. So all the x terms have been converted into t. If we don't do this function, we cannot convert this x in terms of t. That's why we did this step. I hope now you understand this concept clearly. Now if you look at this, the question, in this question we have two different functions. One is exponential function, another one is trigonometric function. As per Eilert rule, trigonometric comes first, and then trigonometric comes and then exponential function comes. Hence sin t has been considered as the first function, exponential function is considered as the second function. Now we can apply by parts theorem. First function as it is, integration of second function minus whole integral of derivative of first function into integration of second function dt. Integration of et dt is e power t, and then derivative of sin t is cos t, and integration of e power t dt is e power t. Now we need to do this integration. So we assume this as the first equation, and then we are solving this, and then we can substitute the value here. So consider integration of e power t cos t dt. As we know, as per the Eilert concept, trigonometry comes first and then exponential. So we are applying by parts once again. So first function as it is, integration of second function minus whole integral of derivative of first into integration of second. So integration of e power t is e power t cos t minus whole integral of derivative of cos t is minus sin t. Integration of e power t dt is e power t dt. This minus can be multiplied with this sign, so we get this. Already we assumed e power t sin t as I, so we can substitute it. Now we can substitute this value in the equation. So what we get is I is equal to e power t sin t minus e power t cos t minus I. This minus I can be transferred to this side, so we get 2i is equal to e power t sin t minus cos t plus c. Our aim is to calculate I value only, not 2i, so we are just transferring this 2 to the opposite side. After that, in place of t, we have to substitute the corresponding values. E power t is equal to x. Hence, in place of e power t, we are substituting x, sin as it is, and log x as considered as t. Hence, in place of t, we are substituting log x. So, we got the final expression. I hope you understand this problem. Now, we move on to next question. And this is another method in by parts. Actually, it is one of the shortcut method to solve very big problem into a smaller problem. First, we will see that shortcut as theorem. Now, in case integral is of the form e integration of e power x into f of x plus f dash of x dx means how to solve it. We will solve this as a theorem. In integration of e power x f of into f of x plus f dash of x dx is equal to e power x into f of x. We will see how this integration value is equal to this value. If you are clear with it, we can solve many problems in a easy shortcut manner. The proof is integration of e power x into f of x plus f dash of x can be written like this. We can multiply this e power x inside the bracket, and then we can split this into two different integrations. After that, if you consider this, here we can apply by parts theorem, because one function is f of x, another function is e power x. So we consider this as a first function, e power x as a second function. So we are applying by parts theorem now. First function as it is, integration of second function minus whole integral of derivative of first into integration of second, plus this integration as it is. Now we don't touch this integration. After that, we know that integration of e power x dx is e power x, f of x as it is, this minus sign, integration of e power dx into dx is e power x, derivative of f of x is f dash of x, plus this integration as it is. Now if you look at these two, it is minus, this is plus sign, so they will get cancelled. Final answer is e power x into f of x plus c. We have proved this theorem. Using this theorem, we can solve many problems in a easy manner. The first question is integration of e power x into 1 minus x minus 1 divided by x square. This can be written in the form of integration of e power x into 1 by x plus minus 1 by x by 2. If you do the derivative of 1 by x, we are getting minus 1 by x square. Hence, this function can be written as f of x, this function can be written as f dash of x. If you do the derivative of this, you will get this expression. It is in the form of the theorem, that is e power x into f of x plus f dash of x dx is equal to e power x into f of x plus c. Here f of x is equal to 1 by x. Hence the final answer is e power x into 1 by x plus c. I hope you understand this. In case if you do not know this theorem, what you will do is you will multiply this e power x inside the bracket, and then you will get two different integration. Then you will solve each and every integration. It will become a lengthy problem. But if you apply this theorem, this question can be solved easily. Now we will solve one more problem. related to this theorem. Evaluate integration of e power x into 1 minus x power 2 minus 2 divided by x cube dx. Now what we can do is we will check whether derivative of 1 divided by x by 2 is minus 2x by 3. Of course, if you transfer this x by 2 to the numerator, we get derivative of x power minus 2. So it becomes minus 2 into x to the power of minus 3. So we get this. So what we can do is we are rewriting this. So integration of e power x, this function as it is, plus minus 2 divided by x cube dx. So if this can be considered as f of x, this can be considered as f dash of x, because when we do derivative of 1 by x square, we are getting this minus 2 divided by x cube. So it is equal, here we can apply this theorem where f of x is equal to 1 by x square and f dash of x is equal to minus 2 divided by x cube. So the answer is, as per this theorem, this is equal to e power x f of x. So e power x into f of x, in place of f of x we are substituting this 1 divided by x square. I hope you understand this concept. Now we move on to next one. Evaluate integration of e power x into sine inverse of x plus 1 divided by root over of 1 minus x square dx. We know that derivative of sine inverse x is 1 divided by square root of 1 minus x square. Hence, this can be considered as f of x, this can be considered as f dash of x. So, e power x into f of x plus f dash of x dx, where f of x is equal to sine inverse of x, f dash of x is 1 divided by root over of 1 minus x square. We know that as per the theorem, the integration value of this is e power x into f of x. Hence, e power x, in place of f of x we are substituting sine inverse of x. I hope you understand this problem. Now we move on to next question. Evaluate integration of e power x into x divided by 1 plus x whole square dx. If you check this, derivative of x is not equal to 1 divided by 1 plus x whole square, and derivative of 1 divided by 1 plus x whole square is not equal to x. Hence we need to do some simplification step to make this relevant to this theorem. So what we do is, along with this x we are adding 1 and subtracting 1, and then we are splitting this integration into we are simplifying this like this. So this will get cancelled. So now the question can be rewritten as integration of e power x into 1 divided by 1 plus x minus 1 divided by 1 plus x power whole square. If you do the derivative of this expression, surely you will get this. Hence this can be rewritten as e power x f of x plus f dash of x dx, where f of x is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus x and f dash of x is equal to minus 1 divided by 1 plus x square. Applying this theorem, we will get the answer as e power x f of x. Hence it is equal to e power x. In place of f of x we can substitute 1 divided by 1 plus x plus c. I hope you understand this theorem clearly and the problem related to this theorem. Thank you students. Thanks for your cooperation.